Hey yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my Wuthering Waves gamers? So I'm not gonna do my usual spiel where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do more react. Don't even worry about that. But today I did want to react to a video called "Does Wuthering Waves Have a Male Character Problem?" I'm assuming they mean by like a male, a lack of male characters, if you would. And man, they they did not have as much as I thought they would, especially with early on where they brought out Gian as the first character. I thought that was going somewhere, but let's hear what they have to say.
Are there too few male characters in Wuthering Waves?
Maybe?
This is a question I've seen on social media over and over again lately.
Wait, is there? Do people ask that? I don't know.
And unfortunately, there's been a piece of misinformation going around that people have been taking as
Apparently, Wuthering Waves is going to have more male characters satisfy both sides of the... Okay. Yeah, I guess that's not... I guess that didn't happen. In future, we'll have region based off actual places like Japan, USA, and we can if it's this time. I can't wait to see how... I mean, you know?
fact. So
To be fair, it has only been like, what, 4 patches? Because every patch lasts until a star dies or something like that. I don't know. It literally lasts until, like, I don't know, another console comes out. These are very long patches.
in a few minutes, I'm gonna have to debunk that. But
Wow.
let's start from the start. So excluding Rover and including Yinlin and Jian,
Uh-huh.
Wuthering Waves 1.0 launched with 10 female characters
Nice.
versus 6 male characters. That's 11 and 7 respectively if you count male and female Rover. From the very beginning, the ratio was skewed heavily in
The doctor
favor
ratio?
of female characters. So, what's bothering people?
I don't know,
there are a
actually.
few different arguments I've
My
seen
name
personally.
is Ling
The
Yang.
first is that Jian was heavily advertised towards the beginning of the game,
true.
which led people to believe that male characters would have more of a presence than in other gacha games.
We're all my
That's fairly
guys.
understandable, and I
Calchero.
mean the male characters in Wuthering Waves do look great. Some people were
I mean, yeah, Calchero literally looks like Sephiroth. And I love Gion's design. I especially love the green, especially when he dragon installs.
reportedly feel that they were baited into playing the game, with the promise that there would be
Ooh.
more cool male characters for them to collect. And yet, since 1.0, the ratio has absolutely kept its female skew.
Yeah.
1.1 released
Juju.
2 female characters, Changli and Jinshi,
Mommy.
which were both very well received, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love Chongli, bro. You can't go wrong with Mommy.
1.2 introduced Jeje and
I love Jeje, bro.
Shang
She's such a
Li
girl
Yao.
failure, but
I
she's
think
so
it's
cute.
safe to say that
Oh, and then
Shang
Shang Li Yao.
was pretty popular with a certain demographic.
Everyone. He's broken and he was free. Why would you not love him? Bro, he is such a broken character that we just got for free. I'm all about it, dude.
Especially
We need more characters that just break the meta. Something like that. Because Dr. Ratio was ass, brother. That character sucked.
after his trailer debuted, which showed the dark version of Shang Li Yao, who has given way to a lot of awesome fan art. You
Wait,
know
when did
it's
they have-
good when there's a lot of fan art.
Man, maybe I should have watched this trailer. I was like, we're going to get him for free. I don't really have to watch his trailers or anything like that because everyone's going to get him. We all know what he's going to be like. That was a mistake. I really should have watched these trailers.
But then we were told that 1.3 is going to have another
Shorekeeper,
2
woo,
female
she's
characters,
broken.
Shorekeeper and Yoo-hoo. And to make matters worse for male
I
characters,
I hate seeing her.
fans, version 1.4 was confirmed
Camellia.
to feature 2 new female characters, Camellia and Lumi. I can
Sat
understand
Rex,
why things
Sat
would feel
Rex,
rough
Sat
if
Rex,
you
Sat
only
Rex.
wanted to play male characters,
Chat,
or at
get ready for Rat Girl Summer.
least primarily play for them. Because at the end of the day,
It's all
I
about
think
rat
it's
girls
really
now,
important to
Calchero.
remember that these male character enjoyers often really like the female characters
The
too.
man
It's
enjoyers.
just that their primary reason for playing
The
is
enjoyers
male
of men, if
characters.
you will.
And speaking of the female characters, the second reason I've seen people feel discontented is related to the design of the female characters,
Why?
or how they behave. I'm sure we can all agree
What?
that most of the female characters in Wuthering Waves have pretty good designs.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is that they're very similar. And I'd personally argue that's the case for male characters as well. They're quite homogenized. All the female characters
sound like a
have
real
bare
word.
shoulders, bare legs, detached sleeves.
I will say this: there are characters. Okay, so, how do I say this? So a lot of the characters are similar, especially when you look back here. When you look at Changli and Juju, the way their dresses look,
Female characters have bare shoulders,
and then
bare legs,
again over here with Yinlin,
detached
and then these 3. But I feel like it's because they're all from Jinzhou, right? Like they have the more traditional Chinese. It looks like Chinese design, right? Because it is Jinzhou, which I love. I love the way Tao Chi looks. I love all the details in Jinxi's design, and Baiji just looks like she wants to slap me just for existing, and I'm all about it.
Sleeves. It's like they all get their clothes made by the same person.
Does this game have a Chidori? That would be really funny. They need to do that, dude. Just add a Chidori that's just canonically the one making all these Jinzhou outfits.
And it kind of prevents them from feeling super unique, in my opinion.
Chisha, my beloved.
Not every female character needs to be wearing pants or anything baggy or anything like that, but one or two wearing something a little different would be good, in my opinion. Just to spice things up. May I remind you how wonderful Yinlin looks in a suit? That's what I want personally. But not always, and again, I think that's a good distinction to make.
What is this, Chainsaw Man?
But it goes beyond just design. Let's be real.
The
physics in this game are kind of all over the place. They actually make sense for some characters. You get the impression that Yang Yang and Sanhua are wearing quite tight clothing that's keeping things together, let's just say that. It feels more natural. And then you've got whatever's going on Baiji's sequence screen. As Twitter has reminded me, the waves do be wuthering. But it's just so inconsistent.
She's just waving,
I mean,
bro.
you have that. And then you have Chang-Li's walking animation, which is just ridiculous. Like,
bro, she does it with a smile. She knows.
Not even being sexy, I don't know.
I like it.
About you guys, but I think the closer it hits to realism, the better it is.
How
did this become the jiggle video?
No, Smile.
I would say Punishing Gray Raven's physics.
I would say no, Smile. XD. No.
Physics aren't super realistic either, but they have
maybe I should play Punishing Gray Raven
to them. And the weight
I mean there is a lot of weight there. Never mind.
Good.
Go ahead.
But
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go
ahead.
Often just look like Jello. And the best example is Juju. I don't know what they were thinking.
Never mind. I was gonna say that a lot of these are good, but I think Juju's is definitely weird because Juju doesn't have big boba. Like with Chang-Li and Tao Chi, yeah, it does make sense. But with Juju, she's medium is premium, but the premium isn't jiggle physics.
Thinking with that ultimate, why did they do this to her? It doesn't look good. It just looks very silly.
Yeah, this one definitely looks super weird.
But maybe I'm in the minority and Jello.
No, I definitely think it looks weird for JoJo specifically. I think that with Chang-Li and Tao Chi, it's fine.
Is what the people want.
It's peak, I should
let me
say.
know in the comments. Anyway, the third thing that left male character fans wanting was actually the story. Now, personally, all of the 1.0 story left me wanting, but I'll get into that in a minute.
My beloved.
The main issue that I've seen around is that male characters didn't play a big enough part in the story. Yuan Wu and Ling Yang just kind of appear out of nowhere.
I don't remember Jian Wu in the story. Is that weird? I don't remember how to say his name. I know Ying Lan. I know Ling Yang was in the story. I don't remember him in the story.
Where Calcaro isn't even there,
Poor
and
Calcaro.
Jian is there, but in my opinion, he leaves a much better impression.
At least
in
the
his
general has
companion
his
quest
own
than he does
has
in
his
the
own
main
quest.
story. I think everyone had a good laugh at him just handing off all the battle plans to Rover.
Damn it.
But I honestly think that's just a problem with
What am I here
how
to work?
rushed 1.0
Oh my god, I love Bao.
It had to change drastically due to player feedback from the first closed beta. And it's no surprise that corners were cut. Everything in 1.1 and 1.2 so far has been a lot better.
Listen, dude, this game is beautiful. I keep getting reminded by that every time I look at these videos. Luckily, I now can experience it myself because I have a better CPU, but man, this game is
it's
beautiful.
Almost like when Kuro isn't forced to change things, they can actually just push out a quality product. Who knew? And look, I completely understand this perspective. The reason I play these games is because they have so many cool female characters in them compared
Jinshi's
to
not balanced.
your AAA
That's not
games
what
or
game
whatever.
balance looks like, but
I mean,
I'm all
there are
about
male
it.
protagonists in those
Vulcan.
for days. I just want some ladies. But I get it.
True.
Considering that Shang-Li Yao shares a very similar role to Calcaro, and no one wants to play Ling Yang because he's weak and his design kind of sucks.
Dog
I'm
shit,
sorry.
brother.
I'll never forgive
He's
him for
trash.
replacing a Wu. My son, the pain just doesn't go away.
Is that what he
But
looked
it's
like
not just
before?
women
Maybe
who
I
are
should look at
excited
the old
about the
designs.
male
I haven't looked at the old
characters.
designs before.
As I said, Kuro Games makes some really, really cool male characters. So there's also a lot of guys who are fans of them too.
Calchero.
I think it's safe to say anyone could be a fan of cool male characters. Unfortunately, there's a piece of misinformation that's been spread around that has been getting people's hopes up for no reason. That misinformation was an interview that was done a while back with Solon, the producer of Wuthering Waves. People allege, thanks to what I believe was machine translation, that Solon said that they were working on more male characters or something to that effect.
Maybe 2.0,
I've seen a lot of people on social media parrot this mistranslation and spread it around like it's fact and be mad when, for example, the 1.3 characters turned out to be female. Thanks to our good friend Fotis, who translated this part for us.
I mean, Gian was kind of there. It was a rerun.
The context of this clip is that Solon is explaining how their way of making characters will survive the oversaturated market because they take a dynamic approach to appeal to the worldwide audience by taking into account different reception to characters in different regions. In other words, they're listening to everyone. Translated,
what does Alto even
do? You will
Take
find
space,
today that we have in fact made something we ourselves think is very good, whether it's a female character or a male character. In different regions worldwide, for example, Japan, Korea, the US, and China, everyone's reaction and data presented by the character are actually very different. So he's not saying that they're going to make more male characters. He's actually saying that the team at Kuro Games listens to a worldwide audience and is collecting data points from around the world. This should be pretty good news for us and proves, as they say, that Kuro Games is listening. But unfortunately for male character fans, it's not any confirmation that more male characters will be.
I really like her. What's her name? Radio? Radio. I really like her editing. Her editing's really nice. Especially how she uses text.
I mean, of course there will be some.
I love her character.
But it might be best to temper your expectations and expect the current ratio going forward if that's what's successful for Kuro Games. At the end of the day, any company is going to follow the money. So any character who is very successful in their banner will probably have some kind of influence on the game going forward.
Yeah, as long as someone's making money, right?
Female. Hopefully that helps clear things up, and also is a good
I don't even think I need her for a team. I just want her.
Not just blindly believe in machine translation. Punishing Grey Raven, which Kuro Games also makes.
What about the other Kuro game?
A decent amount of male.
Let me look at these. I should look at these designs at some point. Wait, that kind of reminds me of this. Okay, I can't. You can't really see because I'm in the way. But this character. Let me see if I could just.
Coming in.
There you go. This character up here gives me a. It looks like a mix of. The way I would put it for all my Nikkei fans is, what if Snow White took up the mantle of Red Hood? That's what this looks like. That actually looks really cool. Man, maybe they should have done that. Maybe they should have made Snow White be the new Red Hood. That would have been kind of cool. But I understand because they're their own like Grimm's model. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
To begin with, but in recent years has skewed much more heavily in favor of female characters. In my personal opinion, it doesn't help that the male characters are all kind of only okay. Like,
they're
they
a
don't
solid,
have crazy designs like the female characters do that absolutely blow me away. A lot of them are just kind of your average guy.
Wait, are these not? Wait, what is it? What did she say? Actually, I like her. She looks very serious. I kind of like that. I like her too. Wow. I need to play Punishing Grey Raven.
A lot of them are.
I really struggle to tell these three guys apart for a new. Are these not the same guy? Is this not like with Honkai Star Rail where they have different versions of the same character? Or different battle suits, I should say, the same character? Oh no, their eyes are different. Okay. Wow, I really had to look at that. He has it looks like he has more white in his hair than this guy. And this guy's hair is up. This is really hard.
Are just kind of your average guy. But I'm also not really into male characters, so I am not the target demographic here. I do love an evil man though. Give me that dark Shangli Yao. The confidence. The flamboyance. I wish we had him instead of regular Shangli Yao. And considering his popularity in fan art, I do wonder if that's the case for a lot of other people too. Maybe we'll get some guys in the future who are super cool. Speaking of future male characters, I know there are a lot of people excitedly waiting for the likes of Scar or Genshu Lin to become playable.
Genshu Lin looks super cool.
To be relevant to
I love how Genshu Lin's tassel mark is across his neck. I thought that was pretty cool.
For that matter. I do have some thoughts there. In Punishing Grey Raven, the story spent a long time setting up the villains before they became playable. Minus Alpha, who was one of the first characters to release.
Oh, is that her name,
The main
Alpha?
villain, Luna, became playable after about a year, and the story meanwhile gave players a lot of high expectations for her.
I think Alpha's the one that I heard has
extremely cool when she dropped.
What's it called?
And it was awesome to learn some more about her backstory. I can see something similar happening with the likes of Scar and Frolova. Horror games will spend ages building them up, making them a force to be reckoned with, before finally making them playable.
We haven't seen Scar in how many patches?
They'll follow the PGR route of letting them stay evil, even when they become playable. Let's just say Luna killed a lot of defenseless people right before she became playable.
That's always
fun. Others committed many crimes after becoming playable.
I mean, you know, Cinderella did a lot, and now she's playable.
GR is so good. With Genshu Lin, his story seems quite personal to GN, so I imagine they're trying to get all this stuff with Rover
Genshu Lin kind of reminded me of Kazuha
and let us learn more about Rover
that one animated
tackling these
part,
more personal,
which was really cool. I really liked
the other
that.
Characters. And as for Calcaro, his bio states that he's from a place called New Federation. I might be totally off the mark, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he'll have something to do with us reaching that new region.
Yeah, I assume that some of these
like
characters.
How Encore is going to be relevant to the Black Shores area. In any case, I think it's safe to say that patience is key when it comes to the good characters in Wuthering Waves. And it's also important to keep in mind that after a huge restructuring of the 1.0 plot and developing a certain amount of things for the next several months going forward, it's safe to say that it will take a while for the impact of our feedback to take effect on the character designs and the story. Regardless of the homogenization in the designs, I can understand why horror games wants to just go for the safest option that's trendy right now.
I think it's just because I'm illiterate.
To get their foot in the door with a new game. And as a longtime PGR player, I have full faith
I thought that was Scar. That's PGR.
Really interesting characters and a pretty awesome story, regardless of the designs of the characters. At least in anything after 1.0, because
Shisha,
that
my
was
beloved.
Something.
Understood. Watch out, everyone.
We did it. The chapter with
to be fair, that was actually the best part about 1.0. Chapter 5 and 6 was actual peak.
Scar was great though. But to answer the question that started
Scar
this
was definitely a great part.
Are there too few male characters in Wuthering Waves?
I think
well,
maybe
let me start by saying I prefer to play female characters myself.
Right.
Always have. But when Wuthering Waves launched, I thought the 10:6 ratio was pretty good. The variety appealed to a wider demographic, and that demographic includes more women, which I love to see. However, by patch 1.4, that ratio is now 17:7, not including Rover. And I think Wuthering Waves is overdue for releasing another cool guy.
Genshu Lin would be so sick. I would love to see
Scar or somebody else.
I think Genshu Lin would be sick. Please, Genshu Lin.
Horror games did not promise more male characters specifically. That was a false rumor based on mistranslation.
That's fair.
But this is a question that I really want to point towards you guys. I want you to tell me whether you think the ratio is good right now, and if you think the designs are good right now, and if you think the writing is good right now. If you would like to see a more balanced ratio of male characters going forward, I want to hear it. Frankly, I think fans who love both male and female characters equally must be eating really well because the characters are solid in general here.
I love Songhua. I actually got her to a pretty decent spot.
And no character
I could probably
is
make her
more
better
solid than Changli. So let me tell you why she's so wonderful in this video.
I should watch more of her videos. Wow, these videos are really good. What was I gonna say? I think so the writing in the story is gonna have to be its own video. I have to talk about that. I really just I thought about that recently, especially with the new character quest. That this is it's gonna have to be its own video. Gonna have to talk about some things with Wuthering Waves. But for the design of the characters, I really like the designs. Again, we were in Jinzhou, now we're in the Black Shores, and so Camellia and Shorekeeper do reflect that. So with the original girls showing more the same design, it is because we were in Jinzhou and we didn't leave till recently. I guess Mount Fremine still counts as Jinzhou. Yeah, I think so. And I think male characters, man, it's hard to say. I mean, it's not that hard to say at all. I definitely think that there's way too few male characters. Xiangling Yao was a nice change of pace, especially because not only was he a new male character, he was a good new male character. He's like one of the more broken units. So if you really needed a male character, at least they didn't give someone like Dr. Ratio, who was kind of ass, and people just kind of accepted him. I mean, he was a free, unique character, but you know, at some points it's like, that's cool. I'll just take the primos instead. I'm good. But yeah, I think Shengling Yao was a good break in between all the women. Maybe we need another one. I think Geshu Lin definitely has to be one of the new characters, or someone who's just like badass. I think so. I don't want another Ling Yang, because Ling Yang sucks as a character. His character in the story is fine. It's just more of he sucks in the meta. And I know it is Wuthering Waves, so these kind of games, the meta is what you make it. The meta is how you can play it. But yeah, I think we definitely need more badass characters. Yeah, let's do that. Bring out Scar, bring out Geshu Lin, preferably before 2035 or whenever the next Wuthering Waves update is. But yeah, I think that's I feel the same. I think we need more males. Chat, let me know how you think. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.
See